So hello everyone, in this lecture we will discuss the solutions of quiz number 1. So let us start with the first question. So in the first question there is a while loop, and within the while loop we have this if condition, and within this if condition, suppose if this condition is true, then this continue statement is there, and we have to be careful with the execution of continue statements. As you know that once the continue statement is executed, and then the rest of the part of the loop is skipped, and we will start with the next iteration of the loop. So we have to be careful with this continue statement. So let us start with this loop. So initially we have this variable a that is equal to 14, and the condition is that this loop will be executed, this while loop will be executed until the value of a is less than 20. So one by one we will check whether 14 is less than 20. So this is true, so it means this loop is executed. Since we enter the loop, so the first statement is plus plus a, so the value of a becomes 15. Then we will check this condition. So this condition is basically that says that the value of a is greater than equal to 16 and the value of a is less than equal to 18. So both of these conditions should be true because of this AND operator. So as you know that in case of AND operator, both are condition, if both are true, then the entire condition is true. So in other words, we can say that this if condition is true if the value of a lies between 16 to 18. So since a is 15, so this condition is false. Because of this we will not enter the if condition, and we will go to the printf statement. So in the output, so let me write the output here. So in the output we will get the value of a, that is 15, the current value of a. Okay, so this completes the first iteration of the loop. We will again go back to the while condition. So once we have completed this, so we will go back to this point, and we will again check whether 15 is less than 20. Yes, this is true. So next statement is plus plus a, so this will increment the value of a will become 16, and then again we will check whether the value of a lies between 16 and 18. So yes, this is true. Since this statement is true now, so this continue statement will be executed, and because of this continue statement we will skip the rest of this code. This code will be skipped, that is the printf statement, and we will begin with the next iteration of the loop. So we will go back and start the next iteration of the loop. Okay, again we will check 16 is less than 20. So this is true. So just to remind you that when the value of a was 16, so no output was printed, so the output remained as it is 15. So next 16 is less than 20. Yes, this is true. So we will enter the loop. Value of a becomes 17. Again we will check that 17, we will check this if condition. We will check yes, 17 lies between 16 to 18. So this continue statement will be executed. Again we will go back and check 17 is less than 20. Yes, this is true. Then plus plus a, so a will become 18. Again we will check if 18 lies in this range. Yes, 18 lies within this range, so continue statement will be executed. Again we will go back and we will check the condition 18 less than 20. So yes, this is true. He'll enter the loop plus plus a, so a will become 19. Now this 19 does not lie within this range 16 to 18, so this continue statement will not be executed, and we will come to this printf statement in this case. So output 19 is printed on the screen. Finally we will go back, again check 19 is less than 20. Yes, this is true. A plus plus 20. Again if condition is false, we will come to this printf statement and 20. Then finally in the last iteration we will check 20 is less than 20, so this become false, and we will exit from the loop. So that is why the output is 15, 19 and 20. So the correct answer is D. Then second question. So this question basically contains a nested if. So there are two if conditions here. So initially we have a and b, two variables. A is equal to 0 and b is equal to 0. So we check here if not of a, so this not operator, so not of a 0, so not of 0 means 1, and we assume in C language that we know that 0 is considered as false and 1 is considered as true. So because of this, this condition becomes true. So since this condition is true, we will enter the if statement within the if block, and first the statement is b is equal to not of a. So not b equal to not of a means not of 0, so it means 1, so b is assigned to value 1. Okay, then we check the next statement. This is the if statement. So if 1, the value of b is 1, so again since 1 is true, so this statement will be executed. So here we are assigning as a is equal to not of b. So if you do not operator on this current value of b, so not of b is 0, so a remains 0 only. And finally we will come out of this if block, and this printf statement will be executed. So we have to print the value of a and b. So the value a is 0 and the value of b is 1, so the correct output is b, 0 and 1. Then third, so in this question we have to identify the wrong keywords. So there is a list of keyword in each option, so one by one let us check. The first option A, so auto is a keyword, double, int, structure, so these are all keywords. So these are all keywords. Then the break, else, long and switch, these are all keywords, so this is also correct. Then case, enum, register and type def, these are all also keywords. Character, extern, intern, so this intern is not a keyword, so that is why this list is wrong. Rest of them are keywords. Character is a keyword, extern is a keyword, return is a keyword, but intern is not a keyword, so therefore the answer is D. Okay. Next, fourth, we have to identify the correct option. So a high level languages, first option is a human readable like language. So yes, high level language is almost human readable like language. So is it a language with a small program size? So no, it is not compulsory. The program can be the small or can be large. So this option is wrong and this option is wrong. And language which is difficult to understand and not human readable. So again this option is wrong, because high level languages are very easy to understand. So this is also wrong. So the correct option is A. Then C language was invented in which laboratory? So we know that C was developed in AT&T Bell Laboratories. So the correct option is C. Then we have to identify which of them following is not a valid identifier. So we know that for the identifier, the first character should be a letter or an underscore, and an identifier cannot begin with a number. So as you can see, this is a valid identifier. So this is a valid identifier. It contains alphabets, underscore and number. This is also a valid identifier. So because it begins with an underscore and other things are also satisfied. This is not a valid identifier, it is invalid. Why? Because it begins with a number, and the rule says that the first letter should be occupied with a alphabet or an underscore. So this is invalid. And total 4 arrays, so this is also a valid identifier. So the correct answer is C. Then what is the output of the C program? So we have a for loop here, and within the for loop there are two assignments operation. So one is I, that is the loop variable, and the second is sum. So this sum variable is not a loop variable, it is just used to perform some calculations. So do not get confused if there are multiple variables within the loop statement. Okay, so no need to confuse with this. So we simply need to take care that the test expression that is dependent upon I, so I will control the execution of the loop. Sum is just other variable, just like your normal variables, and this is simply used in the performing this calculation. Sum is equal to sum I into I. Okay, so let us write these two variables. So this question was of fill in the blanks type. I have not provided any options with it, so you have to calculate the value, or you have to run this entire code, calculate the value, that is sum, and finally you have to fill in the blanks with the value of sum. So we have two variables, I and sum. So I is initialized from 0 and sum is also initialized from 0. Okay, and you can see that I will go from 0 to less than 10, and at each iteration, so this is the test expression, this was the, and this is the update expression. So in each iteration the value of I is incremented by 3. Okay, so you can write it as I is equal to I plus 3. So in the first iteration the value of I is 0 and 0 is less than 10, this is true. So 0 is less than 10, this is true. So we will enter the loop and the value of sum is incremented as, so I can write it as sum is equal to sum plus I into I. Okay, so this is just the shorthand notation of writing this entire expression. So value of I is 0, 0 into 0, so 0 into 0 is 0, and sum of value of sum is also 0, so the value of sum will remain 0 as it is. Okay, now the value of I is incremented by 3, so 0 plus 3 is 3. Again we will check 3 less than 10, yes, this is true. We will enter the loop and the value of sum is incremented like this, so sum is incremented like 0 plus 3 into 3, so the value of sum becomes 9. And the value of I is incremented by 3, so 3 plus 3 6, 6 is less than 10, so again true. So now the value of sum is incremented as 9 plus 6 into 6, so 6 into 6 is 36 plus 9 is 45. Then the value of I becomes 9. Again we will check 9 is less than 10, so this is true. So we will enter the loop one more time and we will update the value of sum. So sum is equal to sum plus I into I. So 9 nines are 81 plus 45, so I will become 126. Again next iteration of the loop, so before that I is incremented to 12 and 12 is less than 10, so this becomes false, so we will exit from the loop. And since we exit from the loop, so finally we will print the value of sum because of this statement, so the output is 126. So this you need to fill in the blank. So those who have written the correct value 126, they will get the marks in this case. Next, what is the output of the C program? So we have the switch case here. So this was an easy question. So the switch case is defined on this variable var, whose value is 2. So you can assume it as switch and 2. So it means that we will match with the second case, case number 2. So this case will be matched and the value of y is incremented. So initially x was 1 and y was 2. So after the execution of this statement y plus plus, so y will become 3. Okay, so we will come out of the switch statement and we have to display the value of x and y. So the value of x will be printed as 1 and the value of y is printed as 3. So the correct answer is 1, 3. Next question. So this is the example where two loops are there. the first loop is for loop and the second is the while loop, and the test expression which you can see is similar, I less than 5 and again I less than 5, but we have to be careful with the when these two loops are executed. So let us start with the first loop, so where I for I equal to 1, I less than 5 and I plus plus. So in the first loop, value of I will start from 1, and since it is incremented by step 1, so value of I will go like this: 1 2 3 4. Why up to 4? Because the condition is that I should remain less than 5. Okay, and in each iteration of this loop, sum 1 which is initially 0, sum 1 is initially 0, so we are simply adding the value of I in each iteration. So in the first iteration we will add 1 to it, in the second iteration we will add 2, third iteration we will add 3, and the fourth iteration we will add 4. So value of I is added to sum 1. So since the value of I goes like this 1 2 3 4 in the 4 iteration, so it means the value of sum 1 will be equal to 4 plus 3 7, or to 9 plus 1 10. So after the completion of the first loop, sum 1 becomes 10. Now again I is initialized to 1, and we have the while loop, and the while loop is like this, that until the value of I less than 5, then until then the loop is executed. So once we enter the while loop, so initially 1 is less than 5 for the while loop, so this is true. So then we enter the while loop, so I plus plus, so I will become 2, and we have the variable sum 2, so let me write it here, sum 2. Initially sum 2 is 0, so initially sum 2 is 0, and the statement says that sum 2 is equal to plus equal to I, so we will add the value of I, so 0 plus 2, so it becomes 2. Okay, so first iteration is completed. We will go back and check 2 less than 5. Yes, this is true. So again this statement is executed. So this statement is sum 2 equal to sum 2 plus I. So the value of sum 2 is 2 right now, value of I is also 2 right now, so 2 plus 2 4. Again we will go back and check whether the value of I less than 5. So in fact this at this point it have become 3. So once we enter the loop, it becomes 3, and then we will add the value of this 4 plus 3, this is 7. Then we will go back 3 less than 5. Yes, this is true. So we will enter the loop, value of I becomes 4, so 7 plus 4 is 11. Then again we will check 4 less than 5. Yes, this is true, so value of I becomes 5 now, so 11 plus 5, so 11 plus 5 is 16. So I think I made a mistake here. So after 0 the value of I was, let me correct it, so after the value of I was 0 it will become 1, so 1 plus 2 it will give 3, then 3 plus 3 it will give 6, then 6 plus 4 it will give 10, and 10 plus 5 it will then 10 plus 5 it will give 15. So and then 5 is less than 5, this become false, so we will exit from the loop. So finally we have to print the value of sum1 plus sum2. So sum1 is 10 plus sum2 is 15. So the correct answer is 25. So this you need to fill in the blank. So this was the output. Next, the error that can be pointed out by compiler is syntax error. So the compiler can only identify syntax error. Other types of error like semantic, logical, or any kind of internal errors that cannot be identified by the compiler. So the correct answer is A. Then a system program that set up an executable program in memory and ready for the execution. So we know that it is the loader which loads the program into the main memory. So the correct answer is C. Then next question. So we have in this question we have the nested loop. So this is the outer loop and this one is the inner loop. So some of the students got confused that there is no update expression within this inner loop. So this is all absolutely correct. There is no problem within this kind of loop structure. So because in case of for loop, so we could define a for loop like this, semicolon and this semicolon. So all these three parts, the initialization expression, the test expression and the update expression. So all these three components are optional in case of for loop. This I have not told in the lecture, so this was up to you. If you have studied from the books or from some other source, you could have easily identified that this for loop is correct, because all these three parts, the initialization part, the test expression part and the update expression part within the for loop, all these three components are optional. Okay, so compiler will not give any error in case of for loop. So let us see how this loop will execute. So the outer loop is based on I variable. So this outer loop will execute from 0 to less than 5. So it means outer loop will work for 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Since I is incremented by 1 step, I plus plus. So the value of I will go like this up to 4 only. And the value of j, there is no update expression, so it will execute at least once. So since j is equal to 0 and 0 is less than 1, it will always be true. And within the inner loop there is simply a break statement. So whenever this loop is executed, it will be executed only once, and then with the help of break statement we will come out of this inner loop. Okay, so because of this reason, as you can see that this outer loop is executed 5 times, and the effect of this inner loop is nothing. It is not printing anything. It is simply this loop will be executed once, and within the loop there is a break statement, so we will come out and this printf statement will be executed. So it means that this printf statement will be executed 5 times because of this outer loop which is executing 5 times. That is why the correct answer is PPL quiz is printed 5 times. The next question, the 13th question. So this 13th question is based on the property of associativity. So we have discussed this property, the precedence of operator and the associativity of operators. So associativity of operators, there can be 2 types, from left to right, or the associativity can go from right to left. So for most of the operators the associativity is left to right, while there are certain operators like assignment operator where the associativity is right to left. So here we have used the comma operator. So this comma operator, and again this is the comma operator. So the associativity of comma operator is left to right. So we will start with left side and we will go in this direction, that is from left to right, while we evaluate this expression. So this expression is like this, that a plus equal to 3 comma 5 comma a. So first we will evaluate this bracket portion. So within this bracket the initial value of a is 1. So because of first we will execute this statement. So a is equal to a plus 3, so 1 plus 3 equal to 4. So the value of this expression becomes 4. then we will move towards the right side. Then because of this, the value of this expression becomes 5, and finally the value of this expression becomes this a, which is 4 now. Okay, so we will go from left to right, and one by one we will evaluate the value. First it is 4, then the value of expression becomes 5, and finally the value of this expression becomes 4. So this portion we have solved now. This entire portion is solved now. The value of this entire expression is 4. Okay, finally we will calculate this a plus equal to 4, and we know that the value of a has become 4 now. So this statement means that a is equal to a plus 4. The current value of a has become 4, so 4 plus 4, so this will give 8. So the correct answer of this question is 8. Then 14th question. So 14th question again, we have this use this for loop. So this is totally correct. We can define a for loop like this without any initialization or update or test expression. So what the compiler will do, it will see that this is an empty loop. It will directly go into this for loop, and then we have put a break statement. This break statement will be executed when the value of tally becomes 10. So initially we will start with the value of tally equal to 0. We will enter the loop and we will check whether 0 equal to 10. So 0 is double equal to 10, so this is false, so break statement will not be executed. We will execute this printf statement and plus plus tally. So the value of tally, because of this plus plus, it will become 1, and in the output it will show 1. Okay, so once this statement is executed, we will go again this for loop. So without checking any condition, again we will check whether 1 is double equal to 10 because of this statement. So this is false. Break statement is not executed. We will come to this printf statement. So tally plus plus, so this becomes 2, output 2, and this completes the second iteration. So in this manner, now you can see the patterns. So this will go on up to value of 10. So when the value of 9, let us check here. So 9 equal to 10, so this is false. So as you can see, so it will print up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and then the value of tally, this will become so once it is 9 is printed, so after that the value of this will become 10, and when this 10 is equal to 10 is executed, so this becomes true and we will exit from the loop. So that is why the output is 1 to 9. This will be the output. Next, last question. So here we have a case of nested loop. So this is the outer loop and this do while is your inner loop. So the outer loop goes like this, from k equal to 0 to less than 5, k plus plus. So for outer loop, values will go like this: 0, 1, 2, 3 and up to 4 only, less than 5, and with the increment of 1, 1. Then within the outer loop we have this I equal to 0. So I equal to 0, and we have a variable s also, which is initially defined as 0. So s equal to 0, and this inner loop is executed until the value of I less than k. Okay, so let me write this s here, so it will be more. So let me write this s, the value of s is 0. So first time, since do while is a exit control loop, so we will enter the loop. So value of I becomes 1, I plus plus, and s is also incremented, s plus plus, so value of s will become 1. Then we will check the condition, I less than k. Value of k is currently 0 now, So this is the current value of k. So 1 is less than 0, this is false, so we will exit the loop. Since we exit the outer loop, so we will go back to this. K is incremented, so k becomes 1 now. Again we will enter the loop, so I will become initialized from 0. So this part is completed. Then again I is initialized to 0. We will enter the inner loop I++, so I will become 1, s++, so s will become 2, and then this do while statement is executed. 1 is less than 1, so this is false, value of k was 1. So we will go back, the value of k will become 2. So again we will start again the inner loop, so from I equal to 0. So this time this loop will be executed for 0. 0 is less than 2, yes, this is true. So in fact we will check it afterwards. So first we will enter, so I++ is 1, s++ is 3. 1 is less than 2, yes, this is true. Again this loop is executed, so it will become 2, this will become 4. 2 is less than 2, so this is false. So this completes this time the value of k becomes 3. So this again I is initialized from 0. We will enter the inner loop, so this will become 1. 1 is less than 3, so this is true. So this in fact this 5. This becomes 2, this becomes 6. 2 is less than 3, yes, this is true. So this becomes 3, this becomes 7. 3 less than 3, so this is false. So we will complete this iteration of k, and then k becomes 4. So again we will start from I equal to 0, and we will enter the loop, so this will become 8. So we will check I less than k, yes, this is true. So this will become 2, this will become 9. 2 less than 4, yes, this is true. So this will become 3, this will become 10. 3 less than 4, yes, this is true. So this will become 4, this will become 11. 4 less than 4, this will become false. So this completes the outer loop also. So it means the final value of s is 11, so output 11. So the correct answer is C. So I hope all the questions are clear to you. If still you have any doubt, I'll suggest you to discuss among yourself. You can try this course directly on the compiler to check the output also. And the best part to learn all these outputs or the execution of any C program is to manually try to run the code and manually check what are the loop variables, how the code is running. So in that manner you will be able to understand the code more properly. So if you have still any doubt, you could ask me through email, and the rest of us any topic we can discuss in the class also. Okay then, thank you.